Hey everybody, welcome back to this Extreme Warfare Revenge series. My name's Andy, the Uncommentator. We're going to be continuing our epic journey booking Control Your Narrative. You can see there, I am on Friday the 28th of March 2025. I'm recording this on the 25th of April 2025, so about a month behind real time. Yeah, I may be winding this series down, to be honest with you, in terms of its regularity. So it's not going to be a weekly video. I haven't decided yet. I guess we'll see. I want to see how this episode goes first, and then we'll go from there. So that's not important. What is important is what we're going to be doing in this video, and that is going to be what we normally do, and that's going to be booking the next two shows. So we've got the next episode of Disruption, and then the next episode of After Dark as we continue our build. Well, I say continue, start the build really, to our April PLE, or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. It's neither for us, which is Final Command. I've actually put it in the calendar already, which is unusual for me. So yeah, Final Command on the 18th of April. That's what we're going to be building towards in this video. I was going to talk, we're just under a week removed from WrestleMania in real life. I was going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to say too much. I think nothing really worth talking about. Well, nothing really, not really worth discussing, I don't think. But yeah, one thing I will say is that I did, over WrestleMania weekend, release a fantasy booking type video, not for WrestleMania 41, but for WrestleMania in general, where I try and book the worst possible WrestleMania. So if that sounds particularly interesting to you, then please go and check that out. Also, in the first episode, it's a little two-part, two videos. It's a two-video series thing. And in the first video, I gave some WrestleMania 41 predictions. There were some things I meant to say, which I forgot. Like, for example, Jon Stewart saves Cody Rhodes in the main event. But obviously that would have been a tongue-in-cheek prediction. But yeah, please go check that video out. One thing I do want to mention, though, and I just want to offer an apology on behalf of, well, particularly fellow Brits like myself. So I'm hoping that after this horrendous European tour that they had in the WrestleMania build, and then now WrestleMania weekend's been and gone, I'm hoping this Daddy Cool chant disappears. I can only apologise for inflicting that upon everybody, but yeah, we're not very. I mean, we like. I mean, soccer, football, whatever you call it, is our national sport, and we like sort of chanting. We've got about 10 tunes that we use to chant for players, and then we just copy and paste the name onto the tune. So that's but unfortunately, yeah, the Daddy Cool one seems to have that way of thinking seems to have come in just for that one. So for example, if somebody's first name's 2 syllables and their surname is 1 syllable, for example, Roman Reigns, we can use that chant. It's fine for one person, but when you're copy and pasting everybody on, where do you draw the line? I mean, Roman Reigns was okay. I can live with that one a little bit maybe, but then Io Sky, Cody Rhodes. I mean, where are we going to draw the line? I mean, how we could go forever with this one. We could have Zoe Stark. We could have LA Knight, CM Punk, Becky Lynch. I mean, do you want to keep going? Are you bored yet? Because that's how I feel listening to that chant every time. So I do apologise that we've inflicted that upon people, but hopefully with any luck that will die off. Much like Control Your Narrative died off in real life, and it's probably going to die off on this game if I don't get on with it. So let's very quickly move on. As I said, we're going to be booking the next 2 episodes of, the next episode of Disruption and the next episode of After Dark. So let's get on with it. So the next show is going to be on Monday, the final day of March. So we're going to be moving into April, and April, not May. I possibly will be trying to get a new TV deal. I think that's what's going to need to happen. Hopefully, we're going to find out soon if we're going to make money this month, because we've lost a lot of money the last couple of months. But I'm fairly confident this month we'll make money. I've really tried hard to keep the worker costs down. So we've used a lot less freelancers. So we're using a lot of wrestlers that are under exclusive written contracts with us. Right. Oh, Rampage. Rampage hasn't been renewed even by TNT. That was interesting. Right. So again, art imitating life. Okay, so we're on to Disruption Day. Now, I'm going to send out a new promo tape because After Dark, which is in the graveyard slot on TVMA Online, I don't want it in the graveyard slot. I want it on early evening because if it's on early evening, A, we can book more segments, which is better for the roster, and we'll get more sponsorship money. So I'm going to send out a promo tape. Now, the obvious thing to do here is to send one out to Twitch. And to, yeah, try and, because obviously we've got disruption on the early evening slot, but I'm actually going to send it out. I'm actually going to send it out to Hulu, I think. I did have a quick look at this before recording, and yeah, I'm gonna try and get on Hulu. So I'm gonna go for early evening Hulu. That's the plan. So we'll go for Hulu. There we go. Right, unfortunately, I only send out one tape a month. I don't know why it does that. I mean, it's quite material because obviously I'd send it out to Hulu and Twitch. With TVMA Online, we can't move our time slot, sadly, because yeah, the risk for early evening is 86%, and we're at 96%. Although having said that, I'm at 96%, but I've barely done anything. I've barely taken advantage of that with what I've booked, but that's going to change soon because I've got might as well start being a bit edgier. Right, so let's actually, after that really long introduction, talking about horrendous wrestling chants amongst other things, let's actually get on with it. So the latest episode of Disruption, I'm going to kick things off with a challenge. So we're going to kick things off with an angle. So it's a one-on-one angle. And it is going to be... Where's challenge turned down? I'm sure I thought there was a challenge turned down one. No, obviously not. I'm sure there's a segment where somebody challenges someone and they reject it. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we'll just go challenge for next big event. Because that doesn't actually specify if they accept it or not. You just kind of assume that they do. But yeah, it's going to be Shark Boy. And he's going to challenge EC3. So he's basically going to come out to the ring and say, you know, EC3, you've started this company and all you've done is sit behind that desk and spout your rubbish, and you know, you're allowing people like Patrick Clark into the company, and what you do with Ethan Page is you know, why don't you put your money where your mouth, you know, why don't you put your money where your wrestling boots are and fight me? You know, I'm the one here that's trying to stop bad people coming into this company, and you're just sat behind the desk like you don't care. And then EC3 just basically refuses to answer him. He just, you know, maybe Adnan goads him on commentary, but he just shakes his head and he rejects the match, basically. Okay, so next up we've got a match that's not going to be rejected. It's going to be Chase Owens taking on Grizzly Redwood. This will get the hashtag butts in seats for this one. And Chase Owens is going to win. I think I've got some people on the roster that are just literally here to lose. Grizzly Redwood being one of it. Grizzly Redwood, Brian Johnson and Bateman. Anytime they're booked, it's like, yeah, they're staring at the ceiling again. Unfortunately. Right. Next up, I've got a bit of a problem with this guy actually, because I don't really know what to do about him. So we're going to go for another angle. Walking backstage, and it's going to be Adam Scherr that's going to be doing that. We'll come back to Adam Scherr actually after the show is booked. And he's walking backstage because he's about to have a match with the aforementioned one of the three jobbers. Just start the job squad. Bring the job squad in to control your narrative. Bateman, Brian Johnson, and Grizzly Redwood. Possibly Zicky Dice as well. He's kind of just been brought in to lose. But anyway, Bateman is going to lose to Adam Scherr. No surprises there when that match is booked. Yeah, no purpose, just to give Adam Scherr a win. Oh, actually, no, we need to. There is an aftermath. The aftermath is Matt, not Makito or Mandy Rose, Matt Raywalt tries to attack Adam Scherr. So Matt Raywalt is the manager of Omos, so I'm trying to keep off TV for now because I don't want to have to pay him because he's paid by appearance. We'll put the build up to future match. There it is. Keep that feud going between Omos and Adam Scherr. Next up, a repeat of an angle that we did last week. It's a diva angle, though she's not really a diva. Diva flirts with Guy. It's Mina Shirakawa and Chris Dickinson, just to keep that little storyline going. So Mina Shirakawa, part of the blacklist, but she's trying to convince Chris Dickinson that she likes him, but he's skeptical because he thinks she's just doing the work of Patrick Clark, essentially. But she's slowly, very slowly winning him round by virtue of the fact that, well, she's basically throwing herself at him and not wearing a lot of clothes while she's doing it. That's the point there. So we keep that storyline ticking over. And then that leads into a video package for the aforementioned stable. Not a stable angle. An unstable angle. No, a video angle. Hype video for stable. There we go, that's what we needed. So the blacklist, Patrick Clark. So basically what would happen is she'd be doing the flirting thing, she'd be doing the whole dragging her fingernail down the middle of his chest sort of thing, and then the screen had cut out and Patrick Clark would appear and he'd just say something like, hey, you know, are you enjoying that, Chris? You think I'm a bad guy? You know, I'm not a bad guy and I'm just like you. I just enjoy the finer things and blah 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 blah. And he just basically talks rubbish. A bit like a Bray Wyatt promo where he just kind of rambles on. It sounds cool, but he's not actually really saying anything meaningful. But yeah, he sat there on like a throne, and then he's got Mandy Rose kind of stood with her hand on the arm of the throne. Again, not wearing a lot of clothes, just kind of putting over the fact that, you know, they're trying to say that they're not bad people. It's just essentially that they've been blacklisted for the wrong reason, or they shouldn't have been blacklisted, basically. And then an interview before our main event, and it's good with somebody that's not actually in the match, but somebody's going to be watching it. So Chuck O'Neill, he targets Gable Steveson, and it's a verbal attack. So the feud between Gable Steveson and Chuck O'Neill is it's sort of one-upsmanship, MMA versus amateur wrestling. So in the last show, Gable Steveson, so Bateman beat Chuck O'Neill, Gable Steveson then beat Zicky Dice, and now Gable Steveson wants to prove to Chuck O'Neill that he's better, that he's a better cage fighter than Chuck O'Neill. So basically the interviewer says, oh, so Chuck, you're going to watch this match between Jervis Cottonbelly and Gable Steveson? And he just says, well, yeah, basically. And he goes, yeah, I am. And I'm going to watch it because, yeah, I'm going to kick Gable Stevenson's butt, basically. That's something not lame. Right, we're going to have a cage match. It's our first stipulation match, I think. It's only taken 3 months. We're going to do a cage match. It's going to be Jervis Cottonbelly taking on Gable Steveson. So it's kind of like it's supposed to be an MMA thing. Obviously, MMA takes place in cages. Well, I don't know if it all does, but you know, Bellator and UFC. I don't know anything about MMA, but I know they're wrestling cages and they don't have ropes. That's about as much as I know. And I know it's not just wrestling. But yeah, get the idea. So Gable Steveson obviously wins this match. Jervis Cottonbelly can join the job squad as well because he just kind of loses all the time. Yeah, he can win cleanly, and that's just kind of to make him look a bit like a killer. And to make Chuck O'Neill think, maybe this guy is going to cause me a problem when I fight him. Okay, right, let's go. So quite a big... Oh, that's good. So yeah, we need to, hopefully we'll get a TV deal, a fresh TV deal after this show. We start the build. The build needs to ramp up now towards Final Command. I've got a rough idea what the card's going to be. I just need to sort of get there. I mean, Gable Steveson and Chuck O'Neill's an easy one. Just continuing the feud. That was a good match. Didn't like the crowd reaction, but hey, the quality was good. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. There we go. That's what we need. Her to keep getting over. Yeah. Good. And a not so good cage match. Managed to get the 60%, yep, 64%. Nice and easy. Right, come on Hulu. You know you wanna put this on TV. Tried to do the bumper show there, but we gave you a cage match for free. That's what you can have on Hulu. If you give us a chance. Right, so because it's a new month, we'll have plenty of emails. Yep, there we go. Okay, a little bit of a spoiler of an email there, but oh well. Come back to that. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to Adam Scherr in a second. Actually, let's just go through these emails. See what we've got. So happy that the public image is going up, which is good. We're making enough merchant. Oh, actually, did we make money? No, we didn't get an email saying that we were losing money. So I think that means we've made money. And also, I'm sure if you lose money 3 months in a row, you lose your job. And I haven't lost my job, so I think we're okay. I think we're good. Well, there we go. We made $66,000 last month, so that's good. We'll take that. Yeah, we brought down the worker costs a lot. The sponsorship money went up. Like I said, we brought down the worker costs a lot. Yeah, okay. And our staff costs went up though. Where did our staff costs go up? We went to hire another road agent. That's what it was. Anywho, right, or did somebody retirement to replace it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Right, so let's see what we've got. No, don't have a pay rise. We can barely afford to pay as it is. Right, Bateman's got 3 months left on his contract. EC3, I don't know. Is it me or am I getting this email every month about EC3? Something's gone wrong here because he's on an unsackable contract, so his contract can't expire. So I don't know where that's about. Right, Veronica Kane's retiring. I don't know who that is. I'll be honest with you. Yasu Kabuto. I don't know who that is. Mike Reed. Don't know who that is. Well, we play Frank Butcher in EastEnders, but I doubt anyone watching that's going to know what the hell I'm talking about. It was also a DJ on UK radio in the 70s and 80s. Somehow doubt it's the same one. N8 Matson. Fair enough. Medusa's become a trainer. Okay. Medusa's retired, yeah, obviously. Schlack's retired. El Pantera's retired. Piloto Suicide. Oh, no, that stands for. I don't speak Spanish, but I wonder what that stands for. Wish I spoke Spanish, I could maybe work that out. Mohamed Yone. Dragon Kid, that seems a bit early. No, not Rick Steiner. Have to fully handing over the mantle to his son, who's awesome, by the way. Sean Moller's retiring. Well, I don't think I was going to miss that. Gives him more time to tweet though, so could be a bad thing. Not that I'm on Twitter. Never have been, never will be. Paul White's retired. David Chow's retired. I think he must have been a doctor based on that picture. Mike Rotunda's retired. Don't know who that is. He's got a lot of money, I know that. Bruce Pritchard's retired. Well, he can focus on his podcast. Danny Davis. Dangerous Danny Davis. World Japan have announced it. Well, World Japan went bust years ago. I think decades ago. I think it went bust in the mid to late 2000s. So, yeah, I've said before in this game, the code's been lost, so the Japanese promotions can't be changed. So they're just stuck as the 12 promotions that they were when this game came out. They're just stuck at those promotions. Right, so we haven't got a new tape from Hulu. That's annoying actually because we needed that. It doesn't matter. We got 0.65 for disruption. Okay, so 41%. So I need to now think about this After Dark. I don't know to my voice then. This After Dark contract. I may let this expire because if I renew it, we'll see. We'll have a think. If I renew it, let's have a look. Extend contract length. Yeah, see, I don't know then how I can get out of it. Because I don't want to be on Graveyard anymore. I mean, obviously if I move from Graveyard to Early Evening, the After Dark name's kind of going to be nonsense. But I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest with you. Yeah, annoying that. Okay, right, let's have a look at World Japan's roster. Not a lot of people retiring this month, which is nice. Cain Velasquez, Davey Richards, Dax Harwood, Dragon Lee, Eddie Kingston, Masada, Nick Gage and Sami Callihan. Well, that's an interesting group of people. Those Eddie Kingston, Masada, Nick Gage and Sami Callihan, I think they were made for each other. I'm not sure about the other four. But, yeah, I think they're all kind of deathmatch specialists. I'm not sure about Masada, but the other three. I think he is, yeah. Oh, he's American. With a name like Masada, I just assumed he was Japanese. But the fact he works for XPW makes me think that, and his Brawl's 85, makes me think, yeah, He's a deathmatch dude. So, fair enough. Right. Nothing too... I'm a bit annoyed about that TV deal, actually. I was hoping we were going to get that. We'll have a... Just that we're going to do there. Maybe I should just have gone with Twitch again. But, oh yeah, Adam Scherr, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't know how I stop his morale from dropping, because literally, I know for main eventers on this game, you're supposed to, and I had this problem on old versions when I used to be WWE, when the main event scene was like The Rock, Kurt Angle, like 2003 around time. So like The Rock, Kurt Angle, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, Triple H, Undertaker, you know, those 7 in particular. Keeping them all happy was really difficult, because to keep main eventers happy, you're supposed to basically feature them on 2. You're supposed to feature them twice per show, and obviously don't have them lose a lot. And I feel like that's what I do. I feel like if you look back on my booking, Adam Scherr, like, he wins every match apart from the only matches he's lost really, the matches with Omos on the events. But you look there, he's beaten Bateman and been in an angle. He's beaten Brian Johnson and been in an angle. He's been in an angle and done an interview. Okay, so he's not been in a match, but he's still been featured twice. He's been in an angle there, and okay, he lost that match. But that was an event. That was a PLE. That's not a PLE. Okay, angle and that's it. Okay, and then we've got. Angle there, kind of. Okay, maybe I haven't featured him twice. There we go. Interview and match victory. Video package there. That's all he did though. But yeah, I don't really know how to change that. I mean, I don't know if you may have noticed that I changed him to a manager. I don't know if it's easy to keep managers happy than wrestlers, but because changing him to a manager, I can still use him as a wrestler. Like I did that with Austin Aries, although that was more to actually make him a manager, so we could do interviews for Omos. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there, because I think if his morale keeps dropping, again, I might get fired, and this series will then just come to an abrupt end. But anyway, let's move on. There are some things we can only do on the first of the month, but I'm not going to do any of them. Let's just move straight on. How long have we got left on these 2 months, and then that one's gone? I could do with a new... Again, yeah, that's the problem. I could do with another more lucrative sponsorship deal. Oh, some things have happened. So AEW have signed Neil L. I'm assuming that's to replace the doctor guy. I can't remember his name now. Samuel Del Sol signed with Ollie. Tyler Bates gone to XPW. Nothing screams hardcore deathmatch wrestling than Tyler Bates. Fat Phillips, why not? Awesome Kong's gone to PWG. AEW have signed Tommy Dreamer to a written contract. Of course, yeah, that makes sense in the year of our Lord 2025. Tyler Bates gone to GCW, so gone to GCW and XPW on the same day, so that'll be interesting. Oh, that's it for that one. Any more signings? We've got one more day until show day. After Dark is on Thursdays. Impact have signed staff member Billy Kidman. Okay. They've signed Sheldon Goldberg. That makes me think Impact have changed size now. They're probably going from cult to national. I think they're our only cult on this game, which is Scott Stanford. He was at WWE. He used to present those highlights shows, I think. Tiger Hattori was a referee, I believe. I don't know who Jordan Schneider is. Shingo has gone to XPW to wrestle Tyler Bate. TJP has gone... Well, that'd be easy on your body. Yep, I'd make that switch. Impact have signed Yun Akiyama. They've signed Shelton Benjamin. And they've risen to nationally. I thought they would have done. Well, that's why we were getting emails. Okay, so thanks they haven't stolen any of my wrestlers. So just 5 segments to book here, and then we can say sayonara for this particular video. And I'll need to do some planning about this series. Now, you may have, the more vigilant of you may have had a spoiler for this next debut, because it's going to be a one-off appearance for this guy, and I didn't really want to use him, but oh well, he doesn't want much money, and he gives me the match I want. So it's going to be a debut angle. Not a one-on-one angle, a debut angle. There we go. And it's going to be a single debut via call-out. And the debut is, yep, Jimmy Havoc. So Jimmy Havoc, again, another guy with a shady past, if you like, or a shady out-of-ring life. And somebody else we're bringing in, because that's what we do on this promotion, it seems. Again, not intentionally, but I want him to... so basically what would happen here is Adam Scherr, who's never happy, would be in the ring. He'd cut a promo saying, oh, this thing between me and Omos, it's ending at Final Command. I'm taking him on in a death match, a match I've never really been in before, and I want to get some practice. So somebody come out here and I'm going to kick your butt with a load of... So basically have some weapons in the ring and say he wants to have a death match with somebody, because that's what he's having with Omos at Final Command, and then that sets that match up. And Jimmy Havoc, being a deathmatch kind of connoisseur, if you like, he answers the call, which is part of the reason why I hired him, apart from the fact, as I said, his salary demands were quite low. And then we're going to have an interview. It's going to be with Chris Dickinson. And he's going to talk about Mina Shirakawa. So I'm going to have to say, I'll say verbal attack, but it's not really. So basically what he'd say is, so the interviewer would say, oh, you know, are you going soft on Mina Shirakawa? She's quite determined. She's obviously, she seems really into you, but, you know, how do you feel about her? And he kind of just says something like, well, you know, she's really making an effort, but she's associated with that freak. I don't know what you want to call him. And, you know, I still don't know if I can trust her or not, but everything she's doing at the minute is... So I'm a bit conflicted. He just basically is conflicted because she's been nice to him, but she knows that he still feels like there's an undercurrent somewhere of dodginess because of association with Patrick Clark. So that just keeps that storyline ticking along, and then we're going to have a tag team match player. And not a 3-on-3, it's going to be a 2-on-2. And it is going to be a normal tag team match. It's going to be Jervis Cottonbelly and Chuck O'Neill, not Chase Owens, taking on Zicky Dice and Gable Steveson. And this match has no title because we don't have the titles. And it's going to end in a draw. It's going to be no contest. It's going to be double count out. So they're basically just going to brawl. They're basically just going to brawl everywhere. It's basically going to be a match that barely starts. So they'll wrestle for maybe 30 seconds, then the match will break down and they're just going to fight outside and fight to the back, basically. So, continue brawling. To actually build it to a future match, because of course the match we're building to. I don't know. The only thing I can think of with Adam Scherr is because whenever I book him in these matches, I put I don't know if I need to put a purpose on. I don't know if that's what's causing the morale to drop. So maybe if I put purpose to put Adam Scherr over, his morale might not drop. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that purpose. I think his morale was 23% going into this show, so I'm going to put that, because I don't really know what the purpose of match purpose is, but it may affect morale. I mean, I've only played this game for over 20 years, so why would I know? But let's see. So anyway, penultimate segment is going to be an interview with Shark Boy, and he's going to target EC3 for turning down his challenge and the way he treats Ethan Page and one or two other bits and bobs that he talked about when he challenged him. And then last of all, the main event of the evening. So it's going to be Adam Scherr taking on Jimmy Havoc. Lots of people whose names begin with J. Jimmy Havoc. And it's going to be not a singles match. I keep forgetting that you put your stipulation before you pick the wrestlers. I was going to do a death match, but it's going to be a hardcore match. We'll save the death match for the PLE that's not a PLE. So hardcore match, and Adam Scherr is going to win, and he's going to win cleanly. not. He's going to win because our good friend Matt Raywalt again botches his interference. So he basically is going to fight both off. So he looks strong. So he's beating 2 people up. Obviously Raywalt the proxy for Omos. No aftermath, so we'll keep Omos off TV a little bit longer. His morale will be dropping, but I think we'll be okay. Right. Let's say put Adam Scherr over. Let's just see if that... Actually, no, let's not. Let's put build to future match again. No. Let's go put Adam Scherr over. Let's stick with the plan. Let's see if we can get that morale up a little bit. Right. 30 minutes this video. I was going to spend 6 minutes at the beginning talking about Boney M, but anyway, we're nearly done. Let's get on with it. So Jimmy Havoc gained 3 points. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Good, that's fine. Yeah, that was okay, I suppose. Could have been better. Should have been better. That wasn't great, but we'll take it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, Adam Scherr didn't put much effort in. Yeah, you see, okay. This is a problem with the morale dropping. That then happens. It's really hard to keep people happy on this game. So, but 61%, we get over 6% at least, mainly because of that debut angle at the beginning. Need to let Jimmy Havoc go. 0.76 for after. We're getting over 150 people regularly at least, which is good. Yeah, thanks EC. That's we're paying the big bucks. EC3. Could we do that one? Possibly good. Right, so let's see what Adam Scherr's morale is now. See, so it's gone down 2%. So he was in 2 segments, won a match that I said it was to put him over, and his morale's gone down. I don't know what... I mean, leave a comment. Genuinely, I don't know how you keep him happy. So this series probably isn't going to last much longer, because if his morale keeps dropping, I'll probably get fired. So, yeah, bit of a problem. But hey-ho, we'll worry about that in the next video, or before the next video, because I need to do some planning. I need to plan the next video, and I need to decide. I need to plan the rest of this series, because I need to decide what's going to happen with it. But for those of you that are watching it on a regular basis, all 2 of you, I am really grateful, genuinely. So thank you for that. But that's it for this video for now and for this series for now. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a weekly thing, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, like I said, that's the end of this video for now. So if you did enjoy this video for some reason, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video should you choose that. Please tell me how to keep Adam Scherr happy, because I genuinely have absolutely zero idea. While you're here on YouTube, if you head on over to the channel, The Uncommentator, you will find the rest of the videos in this playlist, so you'll see how we've got to this point. For now, you'll also find a myriad of other games that I have played through. If you like wrestling, then I have done another series, which is better than this one, I think, of EWR, where I booked PWG. I've also done a playthrough of WWE Crush Hour, and also please check out my fantasy booking WrestleMania videos. If you don't like wrestling, then I'm not quite sure how you've made it this far, but if that is the case, then there's plenty of other non-wrestling related content on the channel for you to enjoy. But join me next time. We're going to be moving on to, well, carrying on in April, building up to our Final Command pay-per-view that's not a pay-per-view, and hopefully not getting fired. But until we get to that point, for now, from me, it is sayonara.